Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Oh, I just remembered, sorry, my fingers. I always forget to check my volume when I turn everything off, so make sure it's there. Welcome to Stamping A to Z, the what is it and how to of everything Stampin' Up. This series is, like I said, it shows you, I guess, what products are out there and how to use them and different ways to use them. So welcome. Hopefully you enjoy these videos. I wanted to thank everyone who does come and watch every week. Even if you're watching the replay, I would love to grow this wonderful community. I want to share the same joy and inspiration that I get from others. I do these especially because they're free and I just want everyone to have access to them, and hopefully it sparks some creativity or joy in other people's lives. So please feel free to share. Like I said, whether you're on YouTube watching the replay or Facebook, whatever, you share with your friends, pass it along. Everyone should be able to have some of this joy in their life. Hopefully it brings as much joy to you as it does for me. I love, this is my favorite. It's the most probably, well, it's not the most time consuming, but some people are like, well, why do you do it? It's not, I just, it's my excuse to craft and then show it to others. So anyways, this is my favorite part of the week. So today I'm going to go back to the Savings in Bloom, which is the sale that's on right now for March. They've got the little mini stuff, the cut and emboss machine that's on sale, and then a bunch of bundles that are on sale with it. So today I'm just going to last time in part 1, which was 2 weeks ago, I looked and I showed you a whole bunch of the products in 3 different suites. Today I'm just going to focus on one, which is the Quiet Meadow bundle, and we're just going to play with it because it is a suite that is great for many different techniques. So you're going to see lots of different techniques used today. So hopefully, you know, even if you don't have these products, you can apply the techniques to whatever products you do have. I mean, if you want the products, they're available and you can get them, but the point is just to show you new things to inspire you to use with stuff that you may already have. So I'm just trying to think if there was anything else I needed to say while I'm facing you. I can't think of it. Anyway, so I'm going to flip you around and we will get started on our projects. Okay, oh, my finger. What's going on? Let's turn this puppy around here. Get you on. Make sure we're in. I don't know if it'll, sometimes it lets me zoom after the fact and sometimes it doesn't. So this is where we're going to be. All right, perfect. So like I said, we are going to be playing with this Quiet Meadow bundle, which can be found in the annual catalog. Guess what, you guys? New annual catalog is being released today at 1 o'clock. I can't wait to go see all the fun new stuff. But with the new catalog comes retiring product. So, and usually it's last chance. So once it's sold, it's gone. That is coming out at 1 p.m. as well. So either you can go on to my store. I will also post it, but for sure the in colors from 2 years ago. So we always have a new set of in colors every single year. Kind of just goes with what's on trend. I should have marked it down. Where's the colors? Okay, so these beautiful Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, Bumblebee, Magenta Madness, and Misty Moonlight. These are retiring, and 5 new in colors are coming in, and they just released them over the last few days, and they're so pretty. You guys are gonna love them. But if you love any of these colors and you want to be able to have them, make sure you stock up now, because if you wait, they will go. the colors go really fast, and I just realized I forgot to turn this on so I can see if anyone is watching and commenting. Please say hi if you're watching. Tell me where you're watching from. Sometimes my comments tell me, and sometimes they don't. So we will just hope that you say hi. So yeah, so those colors are going, and I will, I'm not sure when we're able to share those new colors. Some people have already been sharing them, but I don't think we were supposed to. Anyhow, let's move on to this Quiet Meadow bundle. So this is the stamp set. It's just kind of a fun, it doesn't look like a whole lot, but the greetings are nice. And I always love when there's kind of like the distressed splattery kind of stamps in there. So it's a cling stamp, which means it's the rubber. And then we have the dies. So the dies on this one, the only dies that actually go with the stamp set are for the greetings. The rest, so like if you wanted the flower, you'll have to fussy cut it if you want to pop it up, but you can see it in the background here. And oh my gosh, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. Oh. Yeah, so there's lots of fun dies though in this that you can kind of layer. So this is kind of where the techniques come into play, is with the dies more than the stamps. But the stamps, I'm kind of, if you know my style, I'm kind of that clean tone on tone, like just, I don't know how you describe it, but I kind of like, I've been liking the more kind of like the junk journal, the distress, the old kind of more, not super busy, but I'm just kind of playing with that. I'm not very good at it yet, but so I did play with that a little bit for this. So for our first card, I'm just going to take a piece of basic white, and we're going to start with a little bit of stamping, and then I will get into where we're going to use the dies. So I've taken some Sahara sand, and I've got, close this catalog so it's out of the way. I've got the words, and I've got the splatter here to stamp. So rather than stamping full strength, because this is just kind of in the background, I'm gonna stamp it off and just kind of, I just want it light. I don't want it to be like in your face stamped. That one was a little dark. Okay, so we've got, oh, maybe a little bit more. Okay, so some of it's a bit darker, some of it's a little bit lighter, that's okay. And then we've got our splatter. So again, I don't want my splatter to be too crazy dark. Okay, then I'm gonna go in, so you can make even more splatter if you take the matching marker, and you can just take the thicker side and go on the cap, and then you just flick it, and that gives you kind of a, it'll be darker obviously, but a more random splatter, I guess is what you could call it. Then I'm going to take my blending brush, and I'm going to take the same color here, and I don't want this white paper because I want this to look older, more distressed. So rather than, I know lots of people will soak their paper in coffee or tea and kind of dye it, we're going to get this same kind of look. just using a blender brush, going from white to not so white, a little aged. Doing a quick aging. Fast aging, not what most of us want, but it works for this. Okay, so now I've got my aged-ish background. So then I've got, I'm going to take ones I've already used. So I had cut out, which you'll see in a different project, I've cut out some of the dies, and I did it on shimmery paper, but that's because of my other project. So you will see that. But as you can see, I'm going to take these and I'm going to use the negative part as a mask. So here, I'm just gonna, again, take my, so I've got green and pink, and that is polished pink, and then I think I used soft succulent, which for some reason I don't, I think I put it back, so I'll have to take it out again. And then I'm just gonna come in and color. And if you're afraid to kind of go out of the lines, you could just do this on one piece of paper for each one so that it's easier to color without kind of going out, or you could put some, a post-it note to block so that you're not coloring. I don't mind if it gets out a little bit. So now that I sneezed, my nose is running. Bad timing for this. All this snow mold is really wreaking havoc on me. All right. Good news is though, the snow's almost gone. So there's a flower. So you can see it pops really nicely. Super easy, but you've made kind of your own mask, which I have shown before. But you know, it never hurts to bring back some oldies. What do I want to do? I found this was too green last time, so I'll do a bit of the green here. So you can see I'm getting it on here, but I'm not too fussed about that. And then I will pick a different color for those flowers. Maybe I have a purple thing out here, so let's just grab some fresh Freesia, which is one of the current in colors that aren't retiring. Same with the pink, the polished pink, isn't it? This year's in color, or last year's, I guess now. Man, time's flying. Okay, so there's our purple, and then we're just gonna do this other flower here. Close it so I have a tendency to go into the wrong stamp pad. The old noggin doesn't always work so good. I'm just gonna, I don't want this flower down here. So I'm just gonna cover that up. You know, you could go as light or as dark as you want. You could even mask the one, like, so this other flower that's under, I could mask it so it doesn't actually go over it with the cutout that I had, but not for this one. We're keeping this pretty simple. Just lots of colors. So again, if you only had 2 colors, then use 2 colors. Like, you just kind of use what you have and make it work. And the one thing I absolutely love, oops, I went out the top there, about the Stampin' Up! Stuff is that it's all color coordinated. They make it so easy to just coordinate everything. So I went out the top a little there and there, but that's okay, because we're going for the kind of grungy, distressed aged. Oh, I really went over on that one. Oh, well, that's okay. So yeah, you might want to just, like when you make your masks, just make them spaced or more separate so you don't run into that issue. Or take your time to cover them up, whichever works for you. I'm going to show you another cool trick with this if you want to age things even a little bit more. So if you take your bone folder and you rub your paper, you want to rub it one way, and then you're going to want to rub it the other way. You can actually get it to the point where it's kind of separating. I don't know if you can see that. If you get, I don't really have nails, but it's still achievable. And then you can just tear it apart to get kind of that rough look. So if you don't want a perfect edge either, you can kind of go like this. Your other option would be to do the same thing here. And you could just curl it so you peel it again. Oops. Again, it helps if you've got a bit of nail. And then just kind of, like you can tear some of it, but then leave some of it. So you've got kind of that extra paper there. So you've got kind of the, I don't know, age distress. And now you've got the white again. So you might want to go back, or you could do this at the beginning, whatever your preference is. Come back and just kind of age that a little bit, just so it's not so white in your face white. That's what you do. And then we'll just crumple this part up a little bit better. There. So then you, oopsie, you've got that. And then, so what I did was I turned, so I can show you, I stamped, just because I had too much green, that's why I did the flowers here. I ended up adding this flower with Memento black. So you could, now that I've got the colored flowers, I don't think I will add that. And then I just stamped the Thinking of You, which is from the stamp set. And this is another die from the dies, so it fits perfectly. And I just added a bit of ribbon and popped it up, and you've got a pretty little fun card. This one, the words were a little too popped up. I like that this is a little more in the background. Like I said, still working on it, still practicing. So some point, oh, speaking of practicing, I just got in the mail that I just hit my 15-year anniversary with Stampin' Up. Now, obviously I haven't been doing this as a business for 15 years, but I have been a demonstrator with Stampin' Up for 15 years. Wow. So talk about practice. Now I'm practicing something new. Okay, on to the next one. What is my next one? Here we go. Okay, we'll take just a white, Whisper White again, and then I'm going to find, so I've got this mason jar, which is from the annual catalog. It is with the jar of flowers. It's not bundled anymore. So there's the jar of flowers stamp set, which I'm going to use. And if you go into the back where the punches are, you can find the punch jar. But if you have the stamp set, you can always fussy cut the jar out. I love my punches. I love making things quick and easy. So I'm just gonna go off to the side a little bit, and I'm going as high as the jar will go on the punch, and then I'm just gonna punch out my jar. So I know my paper's stuck. So I've got the cutout and I've got my jar. So before I forget, I'm going to take the jar and I'm just going to stamp it with Memento ink. Now I could have stamped it first and then punched it, but I kind of wanted to line up my punch on the paper, so I was more worried about my paper than I was about my jar. And pardon my head, I'll try to go above my phone. Don't get my head in the way. So then I've got that stamped like so. And then there's, so in this jar of flowers, it's kind of cool because the two jars are reversible. So I'm going to take this half jar, and it's actually the side that has the lines is on the block, and this is the solid side. And then I'll just take some Pool Party, so my watery kind of color, and then I'm just going to stamp it. I'm starting with half strength. Just, yeah, I think that's enough. I just want that little watery look there. So that's my water in the jar. So as you can see, I'm going to be building a bouquet out of this. So it gets a little complicated. So now your options are, you can either take just a piece of acetate, the window sheet, or even off of your stamps that come. I always pull off the sheet because I actually stick my stamps to the plastic. So that thick sheet that's underneath, I just have it to use for other things. So you could use this as your, and then you would stamp onto here if you don't have the mason jar shaker domes. So these also are in the annual catalog. They're cute little domes that are meant to go with the punch. So they fit perfectly. I think they come in a pack of 10. So there's quite a few, so as you can see, and they're they have the adhesive in them. So before I even go adhering it to anything or doing anything, I want to put a slit at the top so that I can slide my flower stems through. So all I did here was I took my scissors and I poked carefully, because you know you don't want to slice your finger as you're doing this. Can use it. So I'm going right against the edge there, and then I'm just gonna snip a little bit. And then I've got, I don't know if you can see that, but there's, and it doesn't look the greatest, but nobody's gonna notice it because it's gonna be here. You can barely see it anyways, and then your flowers are gonna be in there and it takes up that space. So, I don't know where that little peel is. Get it out of the way. Okay, so then so it's gonna end up like this. So it doesn't quite look like there's water in here. So I wanna make some water. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take some Shimmery Crystal Effects. Again, they're in the annual catalog. And I'm gonna take my Pool Party Reinker. And I'm just going to, I should have had this upside down. It's getting empty. Let's see if we can get some out. Come on, there we go. And we'll just put a bunch in here. I don't know if that's enough, we'll see. And then I'm just gonna put a drop of Pool Party. And then I'm going to take my Take a Pick tool. I'm going to take the large embossing end, and I'm just gonna squish it around, make it turn water colored, and it kind of looks solid here. Like you're probably like, how am I going to see through that? It ends up so that you can see through, and obviously the less thick you get it, the more transparent it'll be. I'm just trying to get it kind of all along the edges here so it really looks like some water. And then we want to go up Not quite halfway, but you know, your jar, where did my jar go? My jar has the water up a fair amount, so you don't want to be, and you can kind of have it uneven or even. And if you just kind of, like, it looks like there's a bunch of lines in there, but if you just kind of work it and tap it, eventually it does stay runny for quite a while. It takes quite a while for this to dry, so just be aware. I actually did the other one while it was still wet. It was a little messy when the stems hit the edge, but really it's just gonna get glued down anyway, so it's not the end of the world if it's not dry. Now you want to wipe this so you don't get a glue end. So I'm just gonna take a baby wipe and wipe it off, and it's like nothing was ever there. So that's all good. So now we have our water in our jar. We have our jar with our stamped water. Me and my, it's like if I say too many words, my brain gets confused. So then I've got a few of my die cuts. So I've got this one and this one and this one. And I did not pre-punch these little pieces out, so we'll just do that now. And then you've got choices. So I've got this on shimmery white paper because I think originally I was thinking I was going to watercolor it. Then I decided I was going to use my blends. So I have Granny Apple Green. I'm going to use the light one. And then you can always, you know, if you want to make it look shadowed a bit, I'm not going to color all of these. Because again, I'd be on here for the last couple of times. I think I've gone to almost an hour, which is a little too long. You guys don't want to have to watch me for that long. So with the two shades and the blending, you always want to make sure that you kind of do the light, well, this is, I think you can do it either way, but if your paper is wet with the color, it blends more. So I tend to do a light and then I add the dark and then I go back over it with the light, and then it just kind of blends everything. So I wouldn't do all light green on the stems and then go back, because then it'll be dry, and by the time you try to blend, it won't blend as well, but you can get it blending eventually. You just have to keep working it. And then for this one, I actually discovered a kind of cool, I was trying to get a color that I didn't have. So I started with this Misty Moonlight. This is the light Misty Moonlight. Okay, and then I came in, okay, I'm not seeing any comments, so hopefully you guys aren't commenting. Oh, there is some. Hi, Yolande. Oh, thanks. I don't know why it's not showing me. Okay, so look, I don't know if you can see that, but as soon as you put the purple on, it actually, even though the purple is lighter, it totally goes on the blue. It's almost like, I was shocked at how it kind of took it, and I just kind of wiped it off to make sure there was no blue on the tip, and there wasn't. And then it was a little too purpley because I already had purple flowers. And then I took some balmy blue and I went back in just to make it a little bit bluer, but not as dark as the Misty Moonlight. And then it kind of took on that blue. So talk about blend. I mean, I guess that's kind of the whole point, but, and then you get this really pretty kind of, I don't know, periwinkle, bluey purple. I don't know if I should say anything, but one of the new colors is kind of a purpley blue, and it's so pretty. So anyways, I think that's kind of what I was going for in this. But yeah, doesn't that, like, it just kind of pops. So pretend I colored the rest of these. I'm just going to show you this one. So you could color it all like one flower, or you could come in and make it look like a daisy by just adding the yellow Then I'm going to add a bit of the dark yellow here. Blend that in. And then if you just add, oh, where did it go? I put it away. The light crumb cake. And then you could just like put some lines here to make it look like it's got a little more definition. And then instead of just a colored flower, you've got a daisy. So this one has lots of opportunity for it to be different things. So without coloring it, I don't even know if I can show this to you. Okay, so what you would do is you'd pull this off. I wonder if I should. Yeah, I'll pull it off. Why not? Just to show you. I need my Take-A-Pic tool. This no nail thing, it's not working very good for me. I mean, I do have a bit of nails right now, more than sometimes. Okay, so I just pulled off that one adhesive. The adhesive is still on the back here. And I can actually put it down because it's not touching the wet. And then I'm just gonna kind of line it up and stick it down. So then I've got my jar in place. So then I can actually put my flowers on. So I'm just gonna stick my flowers in and I'm gonna try not to touch the dark part and just stick them down as I go. If you want them popped up, you can put a dimensional on the back. You can put them in one at a time and kind of get your, see how you want them. Ah, see, I hit, oh, maybe I didn't. Don't. Okay. And then the other trick I did, so once I got all my pieces in, okay, so pretend they're all placed where I want them. You might have to trim, like I did trim some stems so that it fit here, but it still fit onto the card. And then what I did was, so that they wouldn't be stuck in here, I took a piece of double-sided tape and I just put it across here. And so it holds them together. And then I carefully took off the other side of the tape so that when I put my card base, this is my card base. So you would peel off this piece of the jar and you would have your double-sided tape that's sticky. And of course you'd put some adhesive here. Then I just basically, these are down, so this tends to pull into the wet part. So that's okay. Once you've got them stuck together, it's okay if it pulls in. So then basically what you want to do is just kind of push it down. Oops, it would go this way. You would push it down so the stems would stick and then the rest of it would stick. So your stems stay put, which is kind of nice. And they don't get into this. Sorry, it's just, I forgot about the whole wet part for a while. So let me show you the finished look. So here's the finished jar. So I ended up, oh, that was the one part I did forget to tell you. I actually stuck the flowers to this part, the stem with the double-sided tape. I stuck it to this, so then it holds this in place and then you stick it all down and have your flowers. So then you can see your stems. It looks like there's water in here. I did the little love from the same die set. The butterfly is from the same set. I just popped it up on dimensionals, added some rhinestones, and these are all just the colored flowers. Fun, right? So you can go as bright. I don't know, the comments are gone again. What is going on here? Swipe left, swipe right. There we go. Okay. All right, I don't know why the comments keep going away on me. I will just set this aside and let it dry. I'm gonna flip this over. Okay. Last one. So Yolande, this one is a tribute to you. You sent me this technique and said I should try it. So I had done something similar with on a block, but I'd never kind of done it from, I'd used it in a different way. So anyways, I thought it was fun. So I thought these flowers would be perfect for this technique. So I'm taking this piece of acetate simply because I couldn't find my silicone mat. And then I found my silicone mat, but I had already used this, so I'm just gonna stick with it. So you can use whatever is gonna not soak in. And then I'm going to take a piece of the shimmery white because you do want it to be a little bit more absorbent than the basic white. So you can either use the shimmery white or the watercolor paper. I don't think, because we're using alcohol and not water, you don't need it to be that. It's probably even worse to use the watercolor paper because I think you would need way more alcohol, and or if you just have water and you don't have alcohol, you could do this with water and watercolor paper. But for this, we're using alcohol and our Reinkers. So, which way am I going with this? What am I doing? I was gonna do a different, no, let's do the same. Okay, move pool party, we don't want that. I've got two greens, so I've got the soft succulent and the evening evergreen. The evening evergreen is super dark, so I want mostly just the soft succulent because even at that, it's dark. So I'm probably just gonna put maybe 2 drops there. That might even be too much. And then same thing, I've got Fresh Freesia, which is the nice light purple, so I can go for more. And then I've got Gorgeous Grape, which is again a dark purple, so I'm just gonna put a little bit. Then we're gonna have some fun. Okay, why did my comments go? This is no fun for me. Okay, I don't know if I have enough alcohol in here. And I'm just gonna, the more you put, the more smoosh you get. So I didn't put enough the first few times I did, and so I got some really dark, blotchy look. So if you don't want the dark, blotchy look, just be generous with your alcohol. That might be too much now, but we'll see. So then I've got my paper and I'm gonna put it down, and then we're just gonna kind of smush, and you can pick it up. You can see right away where you don't have color. So you can see too that, actually that's probably plenty. Then, oh, the smell. I'm going to just kind of soak up some of that. Let's move this out of the way. Oh my goodness, I really made a mess. Okay, I'm gonna put this down on here. Okay, so we've got a nice variation of color. Oh, you missed it. Yolande, this one is for you. This is that technique. I thought I had muted that phone. Sorry guys, it's gonna ring. Okay, so then you could take the time and let it dry. I obviously don't have that since we're live. I didn't spray, so I used the alcohol dropper, and I just put some alcohol drops onto the acetate, and then I smushed it in there. So this, you sent me this technique not too long ago, and they had used it with dyes. They were using stamps and dyes, so you could do both. I will kind of show both parts of it. Oops. Okay, you don't want to get too much heat going on the alcohol. You can set your paper on fire. That's why I had it on low. So you've got some options. We've got that flower that's in the stamp set that doesn't have a die that goes with it. So you could pretend there's a die or just fussy cut it. Where's my... So here, I probably just want the purple. Let's go with here. And then, so if there was a die, we'll just pretend this is a die, and I'll just cut it. And then you have that really cool kind of random washed effect for your flower, which is nice because flowers don't really have a solid color, right? So it's kind of an alternative to blends, especially if you're not into the whole blending. Like, I'm not very good at, not that I'm not good at blending, but I never know where to put the shadows and stuff. So this is kind of nice because it's random. Whatever happens, happens. And then you still have kind of a more realistic, to me, coloring of a flower. So if you had a die and stamp set that cut, this works really well for that. Your other option is to just run it through the machine. Where did I put the machine? It's so little, I lose it. Okay, let's move all these stamp pads out of the way. And I think my paper is a little bit too big to go through, so we'll just cut it here. Sorry, lost the comments again. I really have to figure this out. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to start using my computer because this is just silliness. Okay, so where did my dies go? Did I already put them away? I'll just show you what it looks. So the reason I had done the two colors. Come on, bigger flower. We want the bigger flower. Okay. And then we can, so we got the purple and the green going on here. So this one isn't stamped, but you're still getting the flower in the fun smooshed colors. I can't remember what it's called. I don't know if it's called smoosh, acetate smoosh or something. So, oopsie, either way looks good. Because with the alcohol, it just soaks right through the paper. So you could actually, if you wanted it more subtle, you could use one side. If you wanted it. So anyways, I cut these out of the one piece that I had done before. And so it was darker in some places and lighter, but I just used the same colors and ended up, but you could also put something, like you could put this on the inside maybe, and have a nice card. So fun techniques that you can use with any stamp set and dies, really. So if you guys use any of these and play with the techniques, post your either tag me in whatever you post, or you can post it in to your tag me, if I said tag me, or post it in the comments. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so as just rewind, this was the third card. Man, I'm good at losing things. Here's the first card. Where's my second card? It disappeared. Oh, here it is. Oh, and I forgot, here I did the splatter as well, just to kind of give it a fun look. So there's our 3 cards. So blends and kind of using the jar in a different way, a little more age distressed look, and then fun with smooshing with alcohol. I don't know, maybe we should add some alcohol for consuming too. Could be lots of fun. So yeah, so hopefully you guys like these cards. We will hopefully see you back next week. And yeah, make sure you stay tuned and watch, or either go onto my store, or I think they posted on there, or if you don't see it on there, I will be posting the last chance items that get posted at 1 o'clock today, since the new annual catalog is coming out. So yeah, keep your eyes open, because if there's stuff that you want on that last chance list, you want to make sure you get in on it early. So either let me know if there's stuff you want to order, or you can order online. You can use the March host code. If you're over $200, make sure you don't use the host code, because then you get the rewards. And yeah, happy crafting, you guys. See you next week. Bye.